Yo, what's up everybody? In this video, it's gonna be a little different. I'm gonna tell you all about how to play better in Season 8, or how to perform better in Season 8. Alright guys, so we're gonna talk about 7 points in this video. Number 1 is aim. Number 2 is decision making. Number 3 is teamwork. Number 4 is rotation. Number 5 is gun setups. Number 6 is movement. Number 7 is utility. And I guess a bonus number 8. That this is pretty much about how to win games instead of how to drop high kill games. Like, this is more like how to win gunfights instead of how to get plenty of kills. You can see this as a part 1. If it does well, if you want to see a part 2, make sure to leave a like on the video. I will explain to you all how to get high kill games solo and with your teams. Like, you know, how to drop a 20 bomb pretty much. I can make videos like that. Just make sure to leave a like on this video and I will know. Alright, so first up everyone, what you want to know about aim is the recoil pattern of every weapon. Okay, so I'm trying out the R301, and as you can see, the recoil pattern is the upper right, and every gun has its recoil pattern. So I would highly suggest, if you really want to go in depth with aim, try to learn every recoil pattern of every gun. They're always the same, so as you can see, always upper right. Just start off with your favorite weapons first, like the R9 or the R301 or whatever. And yeah, just practice your aim in the firing range, like trying to control the recoil. So if it goes to the upper right, just, you know, pull it down a bit. Stuff like that. As you will see here, I'm going to do a little practice training. I normally don't do this, but yeah, if you really need to aim train, then I would highly suggest doing this. Just do it like me, but quicker if you can, and however complex you want to do. I mean, I'm sure you can figure it out. Just practice your aim maybe about like 20 minutes a day. That should be good before you go online. Like this, it should be the first thing you do before you warm up. This should be your warm-up. Alright? Normally I like to mix it with movement a bit. As you can see, I move so much when I'm trying to shoot, like always crouch shooting. We'll get to that later. But yeah, just trying to move and aim at the same time to make it as difficult as possible. Just start off easy, but then make it more difficult for yourself in the firing range. Because unfortunately, Apex doesn't really allow us to face against difficult enemies in the firing range. Alright, so we're heading into decision making. We'll start off with where to drop. Obviously, if you want to win games, I wouldn't advise the drop in Gauntlet. Here you go, I will show you guys a map with the best drop locations to actually win a game and survive long. I mean, you can have a more exciting game with dropping a little hotter and, you know, potentially getting some kills. You know, unless you want to just loot the whole game and, you know, you die first gunfight. That wouldn't be very much fun, but hey, let's just assume you won't die the first gunfight. So I believe these are the most safe places to land in Kings Canyon. If you really want to just play passively and take your time, loot up until you're like fully stacked, ready to fight, I would highly suggest to land in one of these areas. Next part about decision making is when to engage and when to disengage. As you saw right here, I only engaged that guy because my teammate told me he was low. Teamwork. So like, you have to know, let's say you hear 2 teams fighting, just in the middle of nowhere, it doesn't really matter. If you just hear 2 teams fighting, only engage when like 2 players are knocked. So pretty much 1 on each team is knocked. And then, you know, they will probably knock each other even more. So like 2 players down on each team. Then you come in, clean it up, and, you know, quickly heal and don't get third partied. So you have to know when to engage. Like if there's like 15 squads left, you're in bunker, and you're starting like 2 fights, people will come to you and probably kill you. So you have to know when to engage and disengage. Really think logically, like, is this a smart fight? Unfortunately, I can't really show it because every game is going to be different for you. You have to know when to engage and when to disengage. Well, the last thing about decision making is really, if you see like a sweaty champion squad, or just, you know, like people have been popping off in a kill feed and it's like, oh shit, these are these guys. Really think about it. Is it smart to challenge them? You know what I mean? Maybe wait for them to fight and then try to third party them at best. Because most likely you will not win a 3v3 against a really, really good squad. Next up we have teamwork. Very important one. Probably one of the most important ones in this game right now. As you see, me and my friend are fighting this guy. You know, the two of us, 2v1, easy 2v1. His teammate comes in later, dies too. The biggest point here is don't push fights one by one. Most people nowadays will just stay on each other's ass the whole time. So, like holding hands. And then, you know, your team of 3, you can even be good players. One comes in, dies. Next one comes in, dies. And the third one also, because he's not going to 1v3 clutch up. So really, you gotta stay together, like 5 meters max if you really want to take it extreme. But yeah, as you see, my teammate here saves my ass. So that's really cool of him. Thankfully that Jibby didn't finish me. But the biggest point here is you need to stay on each other, make decisions together and push up together. Like if somebody, you know, let's say you're absolutely stacked, full gold armor, gold Spitfire, but your teammate has jack shit. Don't expect him to help you because he has nothing to help you with. So you really need to consider about your teammate's loot and fighting capability. If he's not as good as a player as you need to consider that and play with him. You know what I mean? Unless you just want to take a gamble and go for it, because not every team you're going to face is going to be as good. But still, if you want to be a good teammate, consider all that. There's one more thing I want to add. Maybe I'll even make a different video on that. But that's the best legend combos. I might actually make a video on that. But yeah, pretty much you want to play your main. But also if you want to switch it up, play with whoever mixes with each other. Like, well, I mean, if you're all campers, you can play, you know, Watson, Caustic, and Rampart. But like if you're aggressive players, I would try to go for a Pathfinder, a Wraith, and a Horizon. You know, like people that mix, like not a Rampart and a Wraith. That's just never gonna work. So keep that in mind too. Alright, so if you're watching, I will be adding bonus points. As you see, what I did wrong here is, after a gunfight, you should immediately heal or armor swap. Just instantly. It should be on the top of your list, because most likely you will be third-partied. And you want to be full health and not focus on the health you still have to heal, even if it's just a little bit like me. So always heal straight after the gunfight. Next up we have rotation. Alright, so I already made a video on this previously, but I'll just explain it again in short. So I'm gonna show you a pretty good passive rotation. You see right here, drop water treatment. If, like, you gotta consider the ship line as well, where your ship is coming from, the drop ship I mean. So, let's drop a water treatment right here, right? Go right side because it's fairly safe and not a lot of people usually drop there, so you have a ton of stuff to loot, also depending on where the ring comes, of course, but the right side is a more passive way. Through the middle with the water line, the river, pretty much, it's a more aggressive one. You'll probably find some people, but only take that way if you're really like loaded straight up. Or go left if you want to be ballsy, because a lot of people will drop around that area, around Salvage and water, like what's that called? Salvage, Gauntlet, and Mirage Voyage. A lot of people usually drop there, so yeah, if you're ballsy and you want to get a tons of kills, drop there. I'll put my rotation video at the end when the video is done, and it is description, so you can check that out. It's way more detailed than I just explained, but yeah, keep your rotations in mind. Really, you can probably just figure it out yourself because you're really smart. Just take a good look at the map. What do you think is a good rotation? Or take some hints from what I did. And yeah, from my video, I will link down in the description. I will say it's a fairly older video, but it's still the same concept. I think you already know where the hot drops are and where it's not, so I would just advise to stay away from the hot drops if you want to really have a chance to win, like every other game. Alright, next up we have one of my favorite things to discuss, and that's the best weapons to use in Apex Legends Season 8. Alright, so once again, it all comes down to how you want to play. So I'm going to give you a few examples of, you know, your play style and which weapons you should use. If you want to play more aggressive, go for an R99 with a Mastiff. Probably the best setup you can run right now. If you want to play a little more passive, try to get a G7 Scout with perhaps an R301. It's a little more long range to medium range, and I think it's pretty good. If you want to just go all out, go for like a Volt and an R9. It's a really, really good setup too, and I highly support. But that's like close range in your face. Alright, we're talking about playing a little more passively and just playing slower. So I would go, honestly, I think the new 30-30 repeater is pretty good if you can, well, if your aim is somewhat decent. If not, then go for G7, but The repeater, pretty good weapon from medium to long range. Or go for the hemlock. That's also a really good weapon. Just try to mix it up. Try to have like one medium to long range gun and one like close range weapon, just in case, you know. Or like medium to close range, like an R9, like a R301 or a flatline, really good. I wouldn't really say that any assault rifle or submachine gun is really bad. Let me just recheck that. No, I mean the alternator is probably the worst, but it got a buff, so it's very usable. The Prowler, the R9, the Volt, I'm looking at it right now, it's all pretty good. All the assault rifles are pretty damn good, if I say so. The light machine guns are strong, except the Elster, it's kind of an ass weapon. The pistols, well, only the Wingman is good, but I won't pick that up unless your shot is really good. But else, same as the shotguns, only go for the Mastiff really, or if you can find a Mozambique with the hop-up, or the EVA 8 with a purple shotgun bolt, go for that. Sniper rifles, don't even bother. Maybe go for a longbow or triple take, but honestly, don't even bother with the sniper rifles. But yeah, the main point is mix your weapons up with something long range and close range, or you know, if you only want to play close range, go for 2 close range weapons. That's pretty much it. So, you know, I'm gonna say it again: best weapon setups: Mastiff, R9, Hemlock, R301. R9 is always good. You know, any gold weapon you can find, like a Peacekeeper or Prowler, you get the idea. Next up we have movement. As you will see here, how I'm escaping from the guys that are trying to kill me is with the movement. And Rafe's ability. That helped me a lot, but yeah, you want to optimize your movement just when you're running away from people, when you're just walking. Literally, I will show you right now, as you see here, the best walking or running strategy to be as fast as humanly possible in this game without cheating. Also, think about the movement you're having while fighting. As you will see here, me crouch spamming or jump shotting or whatever else. I will show you right here, one of the most popular moves among pros is the wall jump right there. All you have to do is literally slide right before a jump and then hold on to the wall just for like a millisecond and jump off it, the direction you want to go into. Also right here, I'm from high ground, always slide off edges and just high places for the maximum speed boost you can have. Alright, so number 7, we have utility, which means use your grenades, use your abilities, use your special abilities. Please, like me right here, that Wraith Void ability literally saved my life right there. That's Horizon's ability literally saved her life right there. So always make sure to use your legend as optimal as possible, alright? If I were you, I would stick with one legend specifically for at the start. Like really try to main one and really just be the best with that one specific legend. Try to be the best Wraith, try to be the best Octane, whatever else you want to be. Use his abilities as good as you can, as I did right then and there with the Wraith. You gotta really think about it, when to use it and how to use it. Because like, here an example with Revenant's ultimate. You don't want to place it on a stupid place and they get messed up because of your ultimate that's supposed to help you. Let's say you're pushing a team with Revenant ult, you're placing it too close by, the enemies find it, they will take your own Revenant ult and kill you with your own Revenant ult. You don't want that to happen. Same as with an Octane bounce pad or a Pathfinder zipline. Don't place it to where people can snuck up behind you and just kill you instantly. This is a really quick point I wanted to get into because I am planning to make legend specific videos, like pretty much guides on how to play them the correct way or how to be really good with them. So please make sure to hit the subscribe button. I will make those videos soon, and you know, I will do every legend starting with the new legend Fuse. But don't forget, utility also means grenades and environment, I think. So If you're fused, make sure to grab as many grenades as possible. Just little things like that. Let's say you're playing with a Gibraltar or a Lifeline. Make sure to give him or her the gold bag, not anyone else. You know, things like that. Optimize your legend. Also, environment. Once again, you know, if you're camping in a building or you need to heal up, make sure to heal behind the door so the enemies will have to break down the door to get to you. And with inventory management, I actually want to add that point right now. So we have inventory management. Right here, this is how your inventory should look like without a backpack, or even with a backpack. It still should be the same. With a backpack you can just up the quantities of like the grenades or the ammo or the heals, but this is how it should look like. 4 batteries, 2 medkits, and then small heals, just a full stack with the exact amount of ammo for both of your weapons. Unless you're running like a triple take, a sniper, I would suggest run 1 or 2 slots. Same as for the shotgun, run 1 or 2 slots and then like 4 slots for your primary weapon, like a R9 or a Volt. So guys, when you get a bigger backpack than white, you can just up the quantities. I wouldn't take more heals, to be honest. I would literally just take like ultimate accelerants or grenades, really. That's all you need. Besides what there's already in the picture right here. Alright guys, into the bonus tips. First one is team shoot. Always try to team shoot the first enemy you see, so he drops down as fast as possible. Let's say you're gonna fight a squad, you see Gibraltar, all focus to Gibraltar, he drops in a second. This guy, in the video right here, he was doing the door defense, I guess I would call it, wrong. You really have to stand in between, so there's no possible way he can open a door and shoot you like that. And my last bonus tip is play as your style, really. If you just cannot play Gibraltar, but you want to try him, just don't play him. Try to find whoever fits you as a legend or your playstyle. If you really don't like camping, just, you know, try to play more aggressive with a smarter strategy. Don't be dumb and rush like me. Play smart, tactical, but aggressive. Alright guys, so my biggest Season 8 tip is stay together and beware of the third parties, especially since you're playing on King's Canyon right now. The map is a lot smaller than the other ones, and the gunshots are for some reason really freaking loud on this map, so really beware of third partying and try to stay together, because I sense that a lot of people are literally staying on each other's ass. Alright, well, that's my info for this video. Like I said, I will link down the rotation video in the description, and I will start working on Legends guides, so I hope you guys are excited for that. I hope I did a fairly decent job for you guys, and hopefully you guys, you know, got something out of this video. This is like one of my first times doing something like this, so cut me some slack if I'm not that good at it, but next time, there will be a next time. It will be a lot better with explaining all the content and what you can do better. You know, we dropped an 11 kill game, which is pretty decent, but it's about to win. It's about to win. Remember that, guys. It's about to win. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It would really help me out a lot. Peace out, everyone.